That way they can see it too and still get their Zellness point. So don't worry, you guys are not being recorded, it's just us up here. But if you come in front of here, you will be recorded, so just know that. So Carly and I are here today to talk about refreshing your workout. We're into February, and if you made any fitness goals for 2015, it's getting to be about that time where you're like, I didn't make that goal, and you just kind of like throw it away, and you're like, I never said I was gonna work out 4 times a week, that's not me. So we're here today to help you refresh your workout, to go over some excuses of maybe why you don't work out, and then to equip you with the tools to overcome those excuses, and then also to learn exercises, learn proper form for them, so that if you go to the gym and you don't really know what to do, or if you're trying to work out at home and you're like, well, I have a treadmill, so the only thing I can do is walk on my treadmill, we are here to show you all the different things that you can do besides that. You also will see up here we have some prizes. So if you participate, then you get a prize. So it's kind of fun with that. So we are going to start with coming up with excuses. So this is the first part of your participation. This does not get a prize because everybody comes up with excuses. So think about, okay, we'll start off with this. Who worked out last night? This is not to make you feel bad. Okay? If your hand is not raised, why did you not work out yesterday? Go for it, just shout them out.
I was very active during the day.
Very active during the day. That's a good excuse. That's a way to start it off right.
Except it is really easy then to not do anything dedicated, but I don't think I had it in me, so.
Sometimes if I'm like carrying really heavy things, like if I'm going to teach a fitness class and it's at a different location and I have to carry like all these weights, I'm like, well, this is my weightlifting for the day, so I don't have to work out, right? Okay? There's another one.
Taxes.
What's that?
I was working on my taxes.
Working on taxes, so you were busy.
I was busy.
Busy. Okay, that's a good one.
Too tired.
Too tired.
I wasn't feeling well.
Carly, you're going to have to write really quick.
I know.
So sick? Sums that together. Too tired, busy, sick.
It was a really good show on TV.
Television? What were we watching?
I exercised last night. But another night, though.
Oh, okay.
I said, I have to watch Revenge.
Yeah.
That and
Yep.
Castle.
Castle's good. This is really embarrassing. I don't know why we do this, but my husband and I, we watch The Bachelor now. He's never seen an episode before. And so one time we just like watched it, and he's so intrigued by like the stupidity of it that now we watch it. Which is bad because it's a 2-hour show. What are some
Put
other
the kids to bed,
Kids? It's a good one.
and then you're too drained because they wear you out.
Yeah.
Or you feel deserving break after doing
Yep.
Lazy.
Lazy? Yep.
You just own it, that you're lazy.
Hey, at least you're real.
Yeah.
What about, has anybody ever gone to a gym and there's these men there and they look like they like rub baby oil or something like all over their biceps and like they're taking up all of the space. It's like really intimidating. You're like, I don't want to go over there and lift weights because this person is right there. I'm not as fit as them.
You're afraid you'll look stupid.
Yeah. So like you're intimidated, you're not sure what to do. You're like, well, I think this is how I do a bicep curl, but now I don't know. Yeah. They're doing body weight bicep. What about, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like bad weather, or if it's cold out.
Bad weather? Yep.
Let's say you want to go walk outside
Mhm.
or something, that's it.
Yep.
So this is a little bit ironic, but maybe that you are too weak to do it.
Yeah.
Like somebody said, like, I mean, how intimidating is it if you feel like you can't lift
Like,
the bar?
I'm
It's like,
not-
not strong enough
Right.
yet
I'm not
to
in
do
shape
that.
enough to go to the
To
gym.
do
I need to get in shape before I go to the gym.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's true. The game's
Yep. What about, this is a big one for me. I'm a social person, so I like to work out with people. And if I don't have somebody to work out with, they're like, well, I'm just not going to go then. That's a big one
It
for
won't
me.
be fun.
What's that?
It won't be fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's boring. also a big excuse for me if I have a goal, like maybe I want to become stronger, maybe I want to lose some body weight or something, and if I've been working for like 3 weeks towards it and I don't see any results, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do this anymore.
I think too, like the all or nothing mentality,
Mm-hmm.
that if, let's say, you wake up and decide, okay, I'm gonna walk twice on my breaks during the day, and you don't do that, you know, or you miss the first one.
Yeah.
So, and that goes along with, let's say you wanna really go for it, combine healthy eating with exercise.
Yeah.
And you eat pizza for lunch, then you think,
Well, might as well
that day.
I know.
Tomorrow.
I know, I do that too. Like if I have a dessert, like for lunch, I'm like, well, I had dessert at lunch, so now I have to have one for dessert for supper because this whole day is just gone out the window now. Yeah, it's easy to fall into that mentality. So this is a really good list. Both Carly and I have heard just about every excuse under the sun, and we probably have also used every excuse under the sun. One really embarrassing one that I use sometimes, I do not like to work out in the morning. I don't like to wake up early. I hate it. But sometimes I think, Sarah, just go do it, like it'll be fine. And so I'll set my alarm to get up early and I'm snoozing it. And I'm like, well, because I tried to get up and because I'm thinking about working out, that means that I burn calories, right? It's like stupid, it doesn't make any sense, but that's just how our minds work, is we come up with excuses, we rationalize it, and there comes a point where we just need to figure out how to batch those excuses and to figure out what to do instead of them. So we're going to briefly go over a couple of these, and then we're going to focus on a couple of them for the rest of the time, okay? So first, let's look at the too tired one. That's hard if you're really tired and you're like, well, I can't go run. I can't even walk. I'm so tired. One of the great things about working out, though, is it actually does give you energy. So because it releases those hormones in your body and it releases the adrenaline, you actually wake up, or you actually are done being more energized than before. Also, when you work out, you're exhausting yourself, so then when you go to bed that night, you're going to sleep more soundly, so then you're going to wake up more refreshed. And as you can see, it's just a good cycle. So it's hard to beat that one, but if you just remind yourself, if I just go even for 20 minutes, it's going to be good for me. Some of this is just willpower too. Somebody just gotta, all right, let's do it. Not enough time, so too busy. It's a reason. That's not an excuse. There's so many things that we all make time for every day. It just depends on if it's a priority. So maybe your mother-in-law, maybe you don't get along with your mother-in-law, and she wants you to call her every Monday, and you do it because it's important to her and it's a priority. Do you have other things you maybe want to do on Monday night instead? Yeah, probably. The Bachelor's on. But it's a priority, so you go do it. And so if you're saying that you're too busy, maybe you need to take a look at your priority list and see, well, where does fitness fall into on my priority list? Where does wellness fall into? Where does my well-being? How important is that compared to these other items? Okay? The sick one, that's fair. If have the flu, we don't really want you, going to the gym where you're going to spread that around. But if you let's say you have a little bit of a cold, or if you have something in your throat, working out actually helps flush that out of your system. And by being physically active regularly, that puts your body outside of homeostasis, so it kind of messes your body up, and then your body is like, oh, I have to get back to normal. So your body is used to being put out of its comfort zone and then going back to normal. So it actually will help prevent you from getting sick more often because your body is able to cope. So it's a good help for you when you're trying not to get sick. Also, really unrelated, I read this article, I don't know if it's true, but apparently if you gargle with mouthwash, you get fewer colds. I don't know if that's true, but I'm trying it and I haven't had a cold in a while, so here's okay, next excuse. Kids. I don't have kids, probably doesn't have kids, so we can't speak from experience, but I talked to my coworkers who have kids, and one thing I really like that she said is that it's important for her to be healthy because she wants her daughter to be healthy too, and she wants her daughter to see, oh, my mom, this is a priority to my mom is healthy, so that's what I'm gonna be too. So she wants to set a good example for her. She also said that her daughter, she makes for sure that at every meal she has a fruit, a vegetable, and a protein. And she's like, I'm giving that to my daughter, but I don't even make for sure that I do that every meal. And it's important to set a good example and to lead by example for your kids. I talked to another one of my coworkers who, she likes to work out in the morning. Her husband likes to work out in the morning, but they have kids, so they can't both go leave. So what they do is they swap days. So one person gets Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings to work out, and the other person gets Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's something that they have worked out to. Someone else I've talked to, and this actually makes me laugh quite a bit, they do their workouts at home and they incorporate their kids with it. So one of them uses a workout video, and the kids actually end up loving it. And they think it's funny to watch the TV and the person doing it, and then they think it's funny to watch mom and dad do it. And sometimes they'll even say to their parents, like, oh, let's go do this. Like, this is fun. So then you have your kids encouraging you to go work out, which is pretty cool. So those are a couple of things there. If any of you guys have kids and you've figured out techniques to kind of work with that, share that with each other. But otherwise, that's what I've heard from my friend parents. Okay, lazy, again, you just kind of feel the time sometimes. that's a tough one. Kind of gets tied in with too tired also. Okay, the intimidating one, that's maybe if you don't really know what to do, tied with the next one. That's what we're going to be going over today. So that's what we'll spend the rest of our time on after we go through the rest of these. If after today you're still thinking, I still don't know what to do, contact me. We'll meet one-on-one. We'll go over exercises. I'll give you exercises to do. That way you have someone to let you know, yes, you're doing that right. This is good. But that's what we're going to go over today. All right. Bad weather. I'm a wimp when it's cold outside. Carly and I were just talking about that when we were coming here. I was like, I hate this weather. I'm ready for spring. It really hasn't been that bad, but I'm a major wimp. I will not run outside if it's below 50 degrees. I'm just no, not happening. So something you can do is working out at home. And you might think, well, I don't have any equipment, but we have a ton of body weight stuff you can do, and you actually probably have a lot more equipment at home than what you think you do. And that, again, is going to be what we go over today. All right, so you're not in shape enough to work out, okay? Or maybe you're not in shape enough to feel like you can go to the gym. A couple options. You can start working out at home until you feel comfortable, which is what we're going over today. Also, what's really cool, I used to work at a gym, and you do a lot of people watching, which is really fun. And one thing you notice is that every person who's there, they're so much more in tune to what they're doing than to what other people are doing. So when you go to the gym and you're doing your ab exercises and you're thinking, oh, people are watching me, they probably think I'm not doing this right. They're worried about themselves. And that goes on both ends of the spectrum. Sometimes I've seen, this was so weird. I saw a guy at the gym one time and he was doing something with free weights and looking at himself in the mirror, and he winked at himself in the mirror. That's so weird, but he's way more in tune to what he's doing than what you're doing. If there's somebody, and then on the other end of the spectrum,
So we just need to worry about the person working the gym.
Exactly, you gotta watch out for me. Then you have people on the other end of the spectrum where, maybe they're like you and they don't really know what to do, they're not, they're not going to be watching you for sure, they're definitely watching themselves. So that's encouraging to know that, we're always our own worst critics. Also, my mom, she does not like to do ab exercises at the gym. It makes her feel really uncomfortable. She just doesn't like to do it. So she goes to the gym, she does everything there, and then she comes home and she does her ab exercises at home because it just makes her feel more comfortable. So don't think that you have to do, if there's something, maybe you're doing, we're going to go over glute extensions later. Sometimes, those are people call them the peen dogs, so they're kind of awkward. Maybe you don't feel comfortable doing those at the gym, do them at home, that's totally fine. All right, exercising alone, I totally get this. One couple things you can do, trying a workout DVD, that can help Not that you're really with someone, but it kind of feels like you are. I like Jillian Michaels a lot. She's kind of crazy, but I like her. P90X videos are really cool too. If you do go to a gym, and this is really helpful, like Carly and I, sometimes we go work out together, and it helps because I know, oh, I have to go because Carly's going. And so it, it forces you to go. So it's good to find a workout buddy. Now you might think, well, there's nobody that I have that I can work out with. Maybe you can find someone at work. Maybe if you are a member at a gym, you can find someone there. Most of the people at the gym, they like to work out with people too, which is probably why they're going. And it is a way that you can meet people with that. Also kind of with exercising alone is maybe the idea of boring. We talked about television. You can absolutely incorporate your TV with your working out. Absolutely. Whether you're at home, whether you're at the gym, whether you have some type of tablet, you can definitely do that. When I was training for the half marathon, and it was cold outside, so I had to run inside. Again, I'm a wimp, can't run if it's less than 50 degrees outside. I would bring my tablet with me, and I would watch Downton Abbey as I'm running, plunking away on that treadmill. So maybe a show is on, like let's incorporate physical activity into that. And then lastly, don't see results. That is incredibly discouraging. I totally get that. But the good news is that if you're not seeing results, there is a reason. Like there's not something wrong with you. If you're not seeing results, it's because you either haven't stuck with it long enough, or that you're not doing the right exercises, or that you're offsetting it with nutrition. There is a reason. It's not just, I'm doing everything right and this weight just won't fall off. You probably think you're doing everything right, but there's something going on. Whether it's like physical activity related, nutrition related, or if there's a medical reason, that could be in place too. But there always is a reason. Like someone isn't just smiting you and saying, nope, no matter what, it's not leaving. That's not how it works. So that's encouraging. So if you're not seeing results and you're really discouraged, again, contact me and we can sit down and go over that. Okay? All right. Now comes the fun stuff. Okay? What we're going to do next is I have handouts for everyone. Carly's going to pass out. So front and back. On the front side are just general physical activity recommendations of what the goal is to reach. So we'll briefly go over that, but then comes the really fun stuff when we start doing actual exercises and looking at them and trying them out and getting prizes. So that's fun too.
I've just been reading very lightly about exertion and long distance runners.
Mhm.
They use groups and seems to be tremendous amount of stress on the highs and it's not later on. It's
About
just been coming out lately.
I've read about that, like if you're a long distance runner, sometimes your heart isn't getting as much benefits because it's that steady state. And also like on your joints, that is an issue too. And so a lot of studies have said that actually shorter, not really short, but like shorter exercise duration a lot of times ends up being better because you can, do more of a high intensity and then rest, high intensity and rest. It trains your body more than as opposed to if you went and ran 7 miles every day or something like that. Yeah, good question. So looking at this here, first we have our cardio section. It's important to remember that when we look through these recommendations, if you're not there yet, that does not mean that starting tomorrow you need to go work out 150 minutes. That's not a good idea. It's important to work up towards this if you're not currently there. If you're currently not physically active, just starting to walk 10 minutes a day is going to have huge improvement. So just remember that this is not a, again, all or nothing thing. If you think, well, I can't get 150 minutes this week, so I might as well just not work out at all, don't do that. Don't think that. So looking at cardio, so the recommendation is 2 hours and 30 minutes or 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity per week. If you wanted to break that down per day, that's 30 minutes per day. So it's not a ton of time, it's a little bit of time. Or an hour and 15 minutes or 75 minutes of high intensity aerobic activity. So twice as much moderate or half high intensity. So you might ask, well, what's moderate intensity? What's high intensity? It kind of depends on the person to a degree. Obviously, if I was working out and there was a track athlete here, a sprinter, here at Concordia next to me, his high intensity I probably could never reach. So it depends a little bit on the person. Or if my mom was here, her high intensity is different than my high intensity because it has to do with your heart rate, it has to do with your exertion. So there's a little bit of fluctuation with that. But this gives you a little bit of an idea. So moderate makes you breathe harder, makes your heart beat faster, and you can talk but not sing. So you can, try singing, and if you can't sing, you're probably doing moderate. How you know you're doing high intensity is if you're breathing even harder, heart rate is even faster, and if you have to take a breath between words. So maybe you're working out with someone and you're trying to have a conversation with them and they ask you about what you did last night and you're like, well, last night okay, that's high intensity because you're having to breathe in between your words. So that's a good, they call that the talk test. That's one way you can find it out. If you're wanting to get technical, you can find out what your heart rate is, and then we can put you into, depending what zone you're in, that'll also determine it if you're wanting to be very specific about it. Otherwise, just try talking. You'll probably know where you're at. Okay? Muscle strengthening. So the recommendations are 2 or more days per week that work all major muscle groups. That's everything. Some people, they like to have a strength day and a cardio day and a strength day and a cardio day. So they do all strength on, let's say, Mondays and all strength on Wednesdays. You don't want to do I don't want to do a bunch of bicep curls today and then do it again tomorrow. You want to have your rest days in between there. So you can do a whole body one day and then a break and then a whole body. Or what some people like to do is maybe they'll do upper body one day, the next day lower body, the next day upper body, the next day lower body, as long as you're altering that. Okay? Stretching, it's important to do that at least an all over body stretch, a good, really thorough stretch at least once per week. Obviously, it's good before you work out to always do a warm up and always do a cool down. Who knows what is the difference between your warm up and your cool down? Like if you're going to be stretching and you're thinking of warming up, like what does that look like?
You should actually be moving instead of just trying to stretch cold muscles.
That's right. So if I haven't worked out at all yet today, which I haven't because I hate working out in the morning, I don't want to start, reaching for my toes and going as far as I can go. There's a greater chance of injuring my muscles. So we want to start with dynamic stretching. So, maybe we're going to do like high knees, like walking them out, or like some butt kicks, just walking things out, getting the body warm, getting that heart rate up. At the end of your workout, that's when you can do the static stretching, what we typically think of stretching. So maybe I take my arm across my body, reach my toes, grab a leg behind my back, that type of thing. Okay? And then frequency, my biggest philosophy on a workout routine or workout regimen is a good workout routine is one that you do and one that you stick with. So even if it doesn't exactly meet these recommendations, again, it's not the all or nothing. If you're doing it, it's good. You can stick with it, it's good. If you're like, well, I've really heard that swimming is really, really good for you. And maybe you hate swimming, maybe you're scared of water, maybe you're a bad swimmer. Don't swim. Do something else, all right? Just doesn't make sense. Because if you hate to do something, you're not going to keep up with it at all. Carly swam in high school, and I applaud her, but I cannot swim to save my life. Well, okay, let's hope I can swim to save my life. Probably a bad reference right now. But do something that you like. Figure out a routine that works for you. That's my biggest piece there. Any questions on this before we go to the next section? Anybody? Okay. All right, here's where the participation and the prizes come in. So what we're going to go over now is, we talked a lot about working out at home. We talked a lot about knowing what to do. So now, you guys get to be equipped with, what do I do? How do I do these things? How do I work at home? So, as you can see, this is an exercise glossary. These are just some pretty basic moves, things you can do at home with minimal equipment or no equipment. And then things that you can piece together to be able to do that. So you can utilize them at home, at the gym, wherever. Okay? So take a look through this list. When you see something that you want to know how to do, shout it out. And then you get an exercise band or a jump rope. Then we'll demo it up here, and then everybody gets to try it. right? You can do it behind these tables, that way nobody sees you.
Frog abs.
Frog abs. Okay, so do you guys think this table can support Carly?
Yes.
Okay, Carly, you're gonna come over here. That way they can actually see you.
Yeah, we'll make this table here.
I think it'll be fine. Okay, so for a frog ab, these are really hard because they work your lower abs, which normally, if you flex your abs, you're like, oh, it feels pretty good right here. And then you feel right here and you're like, oh, not quite as good. So that's what this targets, so it's a really good exercise. So I stick my hands underneath me for support. It makes it a little bit easier and it makes your spine not hurt as much. So your hands are underneath you, your legs are straight out, and they're gonna come just a couple inches up. You're going to bring your knees in towards your body. You're going to straighten your legs and kick them up, bring them back down, and then out. Like I said, these are hard. These are the lower abs. So it's like a 3-step process. So you're out, in, up, down, and out. So out, in, sorry Carly, up, down, and out. Okay? I won't make everybody try this one because there's not a lot of space. So we'll bypass that one. But otherwise, you guys all
I
have to
didn't
try.
even see who asked that.
Yeah, who asked it? Okay.
Would you like a jump rope or a band?
A band, please.
Burpees.
You're making me do all the fun ones.
Yeah. I taught a fitness class yesterday and we did burpees for 1 minute and I feel awful. Okay, so yeah, there should be guys. So burpees they take no equipment, which is great, but they're just awful. There's a lot of modifications you can do with burpees. So we'll increase the intensity. So I'll show you a couple different options, okay? So the first one, this is gonna be if maybe you've never done burpees before, maybe if you have bad joints and you don't wanna do like a lot of jumping, that type of thing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna squat down first. This is multiple steps. Squat down, then walk your legs out. So now she's in a plank position. Then she's gonna walk her legs in, then stand up. And if you want, you can raise your hands. Okay? So remember this is the low, like the easy on your joints type of thing. So you go down, walk your legs out, walk your legs in, hands up. Okay? Another option, you're like, well, I can jump a little bit. Okay, so what you're gonna do instead, we'll do the one without the jump. If you want to just make it a little bit more difficult, you can go down, kick your legs out together. Sorry. Not what Carly did. Carly tried again. Okay, so she's gonna go down, jump her legs out, jump her legs in, and then stand. Okay? Okay, that's option 2. Option 3, we add another jump to it. So she's gonna jump up. Okay, she's gonna go down first. She's gonna go down first, jump the legs out, jump the legs in, and then jump. Okay? That's maybe what you typically think of with burpees is that jump in there. So that's typically what a burpee is. Otherwise, you can also add free weights to it. And you can do let's say you want to do a shoulder press first, and then go down, jump the legs out, and then, hold on.
Oh, you want me to row?
Yeah, and then you can also add a row while you're there. So your hands are on your free weights, and you do a row on each side, and then you go for the top. A lot of options with burpees. Okay? Okay, everybody does get to try this one. So you can spread out back into the room. You can choose whatever modification you want. If you're in a dress or a skirt, just keep sitting. Remember, you can walk them out. That's totally fine. Okay? So depending on what you're doing, you might jump first, you might not. All right?
No, Sally. Kids are not an excuse.
That's right. Okay. Everybody ready? If you want, we're going to jump first. All right, ready? Up, down, out, in, and out. How'd that feel?
Great.
Woo! Do that about 10 times. 1 more minute, and everybody keeps doing it. 1 whole minute of burpees. All right? Everybody got it? You want to try it 1 more? Let's do 1 more. Okay? Do the jump. All right, ready? Jump, down, out, in, and out. You guys look good. Nice job. Everybody clap for themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody's heart rate is going.
Yeah.
Who said burpees? Connie, did you say burpees?
I did, yeah.
Would you like a band or a jump rope?
I want a band.
Sure.
Band for my arm.
That's right.
Yeah, so what is the best, that's what I would say, the bands. What's
So the
good
bands,
for
what are
arm?
some things you
What are
can-
the two good, what are,
Okay, there's so many things you can do with bands.
Oh.
You wanna grab a band?
Sure.
Let's say so basically anything you can do with free weights, you can pretty much do with a band. So let's say you wanna do bicep curls. If you wanna do a bicep curl, grab your band, you're gonna step on it, and then, the exact same, you do your bicep curls. Okay? So your arms, remember, see Carly's arms are tucked into her body. This part of her arm is staying in the same spot. The movement is in her elbow. So she's not out here doing them. She's not doing anything else wacky. She's not bringing them up like this. If you can't do it just like this, then you probably need less resistance or like lighter weights. So let's say you're doing these though and they're too easy, and you're like, well, I'm too good. Then you can step on it with both feet, and if you spread your legs out, then it makes the resistance more. Just making sure you don't let go. Like if you're right here, don't let go.
Yeah, and if your band is short and it's really hard for you to stand and do bicep curls, you can also just go down on your knees and put a knee on it and pull it up. Yeah, 'cause sometimes bands are really short or there's a really heavy resistance, so standing and doing it is
Yeah.
too difficult. So you can always go down on your knees.
Yep. So that's bicep. Let's say you want to work on your triceps. So the back of the arm. You're going to take your band behind your back. So one hand's here, other is behind the back. So this is going to be like an overhead tricep extension. So if you ever see anybody with free weights doing something like that, that's what this is. So this one arm does the work. Turn to the side. So this is staying right by her ear, and there's not movement here. The movement is in her elbow. So she's not bringing it forward. This is staying right in line. Okay, and then you'll switch arms and do the other side.
so is that good for this?
Yep, that's good for this. What else am I gonna say with that? If you want to work your chest, right here, you'll have your band in front of you, and it's really simple. You just strengthen it out to the side. As you can imagine, you'll feel it right here. Those are 3 arm ones that are pretty.
And you can do, this one's always hard for me, I might have to do it on my knees, but you can do lateral raises too for your shoulders. So bring them out to the side and back down. And for me, that is tough for me to do, so I need to do it on my knees and go out and back down.
It's gonna make you feel it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Put it behind your back and too, is that what?
Oh, like back here?
Yeah.
Does that it would still more do like your upper back
Upper
and your
back.
chest a little bit, but mostly the upper back.
Lynn, that was you, right? You want a band?
I want a band.
All right. Yeah.
You?
A Mason twist.
A Mason twist. This is my favorite
Where is
ab
that
exercise. I love these. You gotta get back up there.
Where's that twist?
Some people also call these, what else are they called? What is it called? Something cone, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Anyways, okay. So this is gonna work on your sides right here. So again, a good area, these abs right here. A lot of different modifications we can do for these. We'll start with the beginner one, okay? So your feet are gonna stay on the ground, but your knees are still bent. You're gonna lean back slightly, but not too much. Put your hands together, and then you're going to go from one side to the other. You're just twisting, okay? You can imagine you're gonna feel it right here. If you wanna make it a little bit more advanced, you can lean further back, okay? It's gonna work even more if we lower abs and do the same thing, twisting. Or if you wanna make it really hard,
Oh, both of them get.
put your legs up in the air, all right? And then you're really gonna feel it right here. If you're still like, I still can't feel it, then I give you weights. And then you do it with a weight. You can do it with, if you have a milk jug at home and you fill it with rocks, that'll be heavy. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, everybody gets to try a Mason twist. You don't have to do it on the table though.
No, No, you're fine. I was just gonna go this way. And let's hope. Oh, some students have
All
walked
right.
by.
So
And
Carly,
I
you're gonna
just.
make sure everybody's doing it
I'm
right.
a
'Cause we
little
don't want anybody to get
self-conscious. That's my
injured.
excuse
So just
for
do a
not going
couple,
to
and we're
gym.
gonna come around and look.
I'll put my shoes on. There
You
we
guys are
go.
looking good.
You need to keep your legs down on the ground. Or just
See, then if your coworkers come in and they ask you what you're doing, I don't know, you can just work on your creativity. They look good, guys.
That's a good one.
How you feeling those?
If it, I would go back. And it looked like-
So I would just not remember what it was, and it's been years, but where when you're inhale, exhale, when you do that.
Yeah, so you want to exhale during the work portion. So exhale during the work portion, inhale during the easier portion. So let's say you're doing like shoulder presses, I'd exhale, so I go up, inhale when I'm coming down. So exhale during the hard part. Or if you, I always think of it like if you're going to be bench pressing, that's when you can really see when people are doing it. When they're pressing up, that's when they're exhaling.
Okay.
Do you want a band?
What a band.
Okay. Yes, Jen.
A bird dog?
A bird dog.
Yes. I think
Okay.
that's what that is.
Yeah, these are good for core, lower back. Probably gonna do these on the table too. These are really common in yoga, right? That's when you
Yes.
use them a lot. Okay. So you're gonna be on all fours, okay? And you're going to extend one arm and the opposite foot. So she's gonna bring her left arm forward and her right leg back in a straight line, and then put it back together.
Or do you want me to go in? Or?
So yeah, an option, if you're flexible, you can then, when you bring it in, touch your elbow to your knee, and then extend it out again further, elbow to the knee, if you're flexible. Otherwise, you can just extend out and then put it
So
down.
you stay on the same, you stay with the same arm and
That's
leg
typically what I
combo?
do, like if I'm gonna bring my elbow to my knee, it's just easier if I am always doing one side, and then I'll switch
How many
sides.
reps do you do of something like that?
You can go for reps, you can go for time. It kind of, again, depends on what's your physical
How
activity
long
level. If you
cannot fall
do,
down?
if you're doing 15 of them on each side and you haven't really felt anything, then that's probably a sign to you of, I need to be doing more. If you've done 10 and you're like, I don't know if I can do 5 more, then you're like, okay, maybe I shoot for 12 then. You can also do different like sets of it, so maybe you do 10 on each side and then you do something else and then you come back to them and then do 10 again. So you don't have to do them all at the same time, you can space it out.
Did she touch her leg or foot or knee or anything down in between, or are you're
It
levitating your
depends
hand
too
in
on
there?
your balance. So some people need to do one at a time and touch back down, or you can just keep going in just like that. So if you need to stop after each one to catch your balance, you can. But if you have a pretty good balance, you can just, yeah, you can just keep doing them and not touch down.
Also, when she's in this tabletop pose right here, notice her back is not arched down and it's not forward. Okay, she has a nice flat back. Tabletop, so I can eat my lunch right off of her. Okay, Jen, that was you, right?
Yeah, I want to
Okay. Yeah,
The tricep kickback.
tricep kickback. Okay, this is a good one. So for these, you will need either a band or free weights. Okay, so we'll show it with free weights first. So you're going to stand with a slight bend in your knee, and you're going to lean forward slightly. Your upper arm is in line with your body, and then again, the movement is just in your elbows. So she's going to kick back and then bring forward. Kick back and then bring forward. This is staying in the exact same spot. Okay? This is not a swinging motion, so she's not acting like she's skiing and going like this. Okay, so it's just,
So how does that work differently than doing?
it works the same muscle. So this is an overhead tricep extension.
Oh, okay.
These are tricep kickbacks. It's just a different way to do it. A different exercise to use. You can also do them with bands. They're a little bit more difficult to do with bands, but it's the same thing. You step on it, hold your bands, and then extend back. That looks the same. Do you want a band or a jump rope?
A band.
Okay. Did you have one too?
Superman?
Superman. Carly, I won't make you do these ones. I'll do these ones first. Okay, so for a Superman, again, this works your lower back. So you're gonna be, I'll let you talk it out.
Oh, perfect. All right, so you're gonna lay on your stomach, hands out in front of you, and you want your head to be facing down on the ground. So you don't want to be looking around because it will get your neck out of alignment, so that's a way of hurting yourself. So you can do this a couple different ways. So start out a little bit easier, a little bit more beginner. You just lift your arms up, off, just like that. Squeeze your glute muscles and lower back down. Or if you want, instead of using your hands, you can do the same thing with your feet. So just lift your legs up, back down. Or if you want to do more advanced, do both at the same time. Good job.
What is the difference between that Superman and Superman plank? Because there's, it says plank Superman, is there a difference?
Super like that. It might make sense once I see it.
It's C under plank.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what you did? Or is
Like
that?
Oh.
dips, knee drives, and super.
Oh, okay. These are, yes, they're different. Superman planks are awful. Do you remember these? Okay, these feel really awkward to me, so I probably will do them wrong. But for a Superman plank, so first we'll do a regular plank, okay? So if you're doing a regular plank, a couple options here. You can do them on your knees. This is the beginner position on your knees. More advanced is on your toes. You can do them on your elbows or on your hands. For either one, just importantly, you have a straight line down your body. If you're going to do, hopefully these tables are okay. You're going to do a Superman plank, so you're going to be on your toes and on your hands. I'm going to bring my right knee up to the side as I push down, and like these. And that's all I'm going to do. Okay, so I won't make you do Superman planks, but everybody has to try a regular Superman. Actually, I won't. I don't want to make you lie on the ground again. It's okay. We'll bypass it. Did you say Superman? Is that right?
Would you like a band or a jump?
A band.
Okay, we'll do 2 more. 3 more. Yes. Glute extension. Okay, so these are the ones that you may or may not want to do at the gym. I don't want to go home to do them. We'll show both. Okay. So glute extension, obviously it's going to work your glutes. So again, you're going to be in your tabletop position. We're going to do 1 glute at a time. So if we're going to work on the right glute, she's going to bring her knee in towards her chest and then extend out. Knee in towards the chest and extend out. Okay? And then she'll switch to the left one. Another option, and I don't really have a good name for it other than just the bean dog, but I don't really like that name, but I don't know what else to call it. So we'll just call it a side glute extension. So instead of taking, you'll still bring your knee out, it'll still be bent, but instead of taking it back, you're going to bring it to the side. So extend to the side
I'll do this
and
as
then
you guys
lower.
do.
So it's going to work a different part of your glute. These will work you quick. All right? I won't make you guys do these ones either. Okay, did you have one?
Tuck jumps.
Tuck jumps. Carly, it's all you. Okay, so these are high intensity one. If you don't have the best joints, I would not advise doing these. So these are a little bit more advanced, good cardio. It's gonna make you feel just great the next day. So you have to also have to be a little bit coordinated to do that. So you're going to jump and then tuck, basically. So like it would be a lot easier if you just got to do them off a diving board, like at the pool, because if you think you run and then you're like, oh, I can jump, and then you bring your legs up and then you land. That's kind of what this is, but you're on the ground and it's not as easy. So I'm gonna have you just demo one first.
Okay.
That way Yep. So you jump, tuck your legs in, and land. So do you have other things you want to add to that?
If you don't want to do a full tuck jump, you can do kind of like high knee skipping, so you can just bring one knee up at a time, or you can just do little tiny hops too. So just kind of anything to really get that heart rate going. The little hops or doing one at a time is not going to be nearly as hard on your knees as doing the full tuck jump.
Otherwise, just go to the pool a lot and jump up.
In and out?
In and outs. Okay. So this is kind of like half of a burpee. It's just taking out the upward jump with it. So you're going to be down in plank position, kick the legs out, so that's the out, and then you bring them in outside of your legs. So you're back in plank and then jump them up to the side. Okay? Obviously with these you can jump them in and out, or you can also walk them, obviously too, to make it a little bit easier on your joints. This is also, as you can tell since she's in plank position, it's also going to work her core. So it's kind of dual there, so it's a really good exercise for you. In and outs.
And I think advance the last two people.
Oh yeah, I think right here. And I think all three.
Oh my gosh.
Just about everybody has one.
Who was the one that asked the questions?
Okay.
Okay, it is 12:35, so we are going to move to the next section really quickly. We'll be done in like 3 minutes, but we'll stay here afterwards. So if you are looking through the list and there's still some you're not really for sure of, just stay and we'll be here. Okay? Okay, so the last piece of this is now maybe you're thinking, well, I have these workouts, but what am I supposed to do? Just like, or have these exercises, what am I supposed to do? Just like go down the list. How many should I do? What should I do? What does this look like? So I've made workout templates for you. They are 3 different types of workouts, and it'll say type of exercise, cardio. I also have a electronic version of this if you want to type it in. So it says type exercise here, so obviously if you get a printed version, print it. But otherwise, if you want when you can type into, email me and I'll email it to you. But so it'll say type of exercise, cardio. So then you look at your list and you say, okay, cardio, I want to do tuck jumps. Of course, 10 of them. So it says reps and then how many you should do. And then after that it says strength, how many should I do of that. So it will tell you what type of exercise to put in, then you just plug them in. It tells you the time or the reps, that type of thing. So there's 3 different types of templates. Also know that the reps or the time, they are just suggestions. They're a starting place. They might be below, they might be less than below or above of what you want to do. If you start doing them and you're like, there is no way I can do that many, then cut it in half. You know, this is just a starting point. Obviously, everybody's workout is going to look a little bit different. So maybe you need more, maybe you need less. Feel free to adjust accordingly. Okay? So I will have Carly pass these out. While she's passing those out, are there any other questions? We will stay, but any other questions you guys have for us?
So is it better, like I have several exercise days and I start doing my type bow one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better to like do it one day and then switch to a different tape, but do you need to keep repeating that same one to get the full benefit?
Generally, it's good to not work the same muscle group the same, like 2 days in a row. It's good to have that rest time. So depending on what the exercises are, like if they're having you do, if you're working your shoulders a lot on the first day, then you don't want to do that the next day too. So it's good to have those rest days in there. It's good to switch up your exercises too because our bodies acclimate to things. So if I keep doing the exact same workout day after day after day, you know, a couple months in, the workout's not really going to do anything for me because my body's used to it. So you're not going to be getting those benefits. So it is good to switch things up and to keep your body guessing because it'll make it more effective for you.
What you better to do, like the same one, like maybe every other day than to do 5 different ones in 1 week?
You could really do either. It's just important that if you do the same one, let's say like every other day, and if you're doing that over a long amount of time, you're going to be getting stronger. You're going to have greater endurance, so it's important to increase. So maybe if you're using weights, you know, after a couple weeks, couple months, then maybe you need to increase your weights or increase the reps because otherwise you're just kind of plateauing.
So it says ladder, tongue to bottom, circuit.
They're each different, so there are 3 different types. So a ladder one means that you're working up it, so you'll see that the reps are like 5, what does it start with? 10, 15, 20, 25, so it goes up and then it comes down, the reps. So as you can see by the reps of 10, I wrote a note of choose a difficult exercise for the fewest reps. You know, if you were doing tuck jumps, you would much rather do 10 tuck jumps as opposed to 35.
Yeah.
Okay, 35, that's where you put a little bit easier one, something you can get through quicker. Okay? The circuit one, you'll do a leg exercise, and then arm, and then cardio, and then core. And then another leg, arm, cardio, core. Okay? And then the time Tabata. Tabata is a type of working out that you have 4 minutes, and you do 20 seconds of work, and then 10 seconds rest. 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. And you continue that until you've reached 4 minutes. So you'll do an exercise for 4 minutes, but you break it up with work and rest, work and rest. So they're 3 completely different types of workouts. You can try them out, see if you like them, and it gives you a little bit of ability to try them at home if you want, and try making some of your own workouts. Not to say that you can't contact us, because we can put together workouts for you too, but this is to give you a little bit of freedom to be able to do it also. All right, well, if there are no other questions, feel free to stay, but thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
I was gonna tell you, I love